Large ears pointing upward, long well-honed teeth, silky coat. Whether in town or country, the rabbit is instantly recognizable. From its origins in the south of Europe, the species has spread to all continents, bred for its meat and fur. Curious, but always wary, the rabbit retains the kind of untamed instincts that are alien to us. Breeders and researchers are now trying to identify the subtleties of its true nature. Neither feral nor domesticated, whether in a warren or a pen, the animal with the long ears has many secrets to reveal. A luscious lawn, loose soil, a mild and temperate climate. That's all it takes for a colony of rabbits to move in and feel thoroughly at home. In these grassy plots, rabbits enjoy complete freedom. Well, almost. Fences and shelters form the backdrop to a daily life regulated by humans. Here, livestock farming provides a soundtrack to the rabbits' lives. While living alongside humans for only 1,200 years, the rabbit has not completely lost its wild nature. Over time, breeding and selection have changed the animal's size, the length of its coat, and the color of its fur. Despite very different appearances, city and field rabbits belong to the same European species. For more than 20 years, Pascal has been a rabbit connoisseur. The one-of-a-kind farm he has designed in Mayenne is a benchmark in terms of animal welfare.
Salut les cocos!
No battery breeding, no tiny hutches, but large open-air pens for youngsters and mobile pens for both breeding males and females with their young.
Siamo un piccolo. No.
Every day, Pascal moves the 60 pens of nursing does onto a 3-hectare meadow to give them a permanent supply of fresh grass to graze.
L'élevage, c'est la relation homme-animal. C'est-à-dire que si l'éleveur il est bien, les animaux sont bien. Si les animaux sont bien, l'éleveur est bien. Je pense que c'est ça qui a été oublié dans les 30 Glorieuses, où en fin de compte on a produit de l'animal comme si c'était une chose. Et aujourd'hui, pour moi, c'est un être vivant, quoi. Il faut faire avec lui et pas contre lui ou pas à côté de lui. On est ensemble, quoi.
Breeding rabbits in the open air is not easy because the animal is subject to a range of parasites, a vulnerability that is accentuated in stressful situations. For any mammal accustomed to living in colonies, factory farming in cramped cages is real torture. Pascal is well aware of this and believes in the benefits of living in a group. The presence of others is both reassuring and protective. The more surrounded the rabbit feels, the lower the levels of stress hormone in the bloodstream.
Les comportements, on en voit un peu au quotidien, des comportements de lapins qui définissent pour moi leur bien-être, parce qu'ils ne m'ont pas dit encore s'ils étaient heureux ou pas. Mais quand on les voit, par exemple, ceux qui sont allongés tout leur long, voilà, là moi j'ai l'impression qu'ils sont bien, quoi. Un animal stressé, on le voit, il est recroquevillé, tout ça. Et du coup, on voit, là, il y a les curieux, il y a celui qui se lève. On les voit, les comportements. Et quand l'animal il vient, là je vois, il y en a un à 1 mètre de moi qui roupille, qui dort, et Il n'a pas l'air d'être malheureux du tout, celui-là. Enfin, voilà, moi, ça, je me dis, celui-là, il a une chance de survie supérieure à un animal qui pourrait être stressé par quoi que ce soit.
Living the life of Riley, the residents here have plenty of time to go about their rabbit business without any pressure. They wander around, eating or grazing according to their mood, with plenty of lounging around. But after the calm, the storm. Tick, Pascal's dog, enters the scene. He moves the boarders back into their hutches so that his master can easily count them. Caught on the hop, the young rabbits react quickly. A quick pounding of the foot on the wooden boards is the signal to get moving. In a flash, the residents spring into action, hurrying back to their shelters.
C'est bon. Tic. Viens ici, là. C'est bien, mon chien.
In the wild, rabbits find refuge underground. The little animal is actually a fine builder of underground tunnels. Beneath the surface, the warren is made up of a maze of corridors and chambers. Like an extended family, the clan consists of a dominant pair, females with the year's young rabbits, in addition to a few tolerated males. None of the little gathering strays too far from their territory. Wild, yes, but above all sedentary. For this featherweight animal, just 2 kilograms for 50 centimeters long, social life is very organized. When sharing a warren with several others, certain rules regarding good manners should be observed. The code of conduct is dictated by the clan's dominant couple, and all others must comply. Aside from a handful of authorized males, all others are chased out as soon as they mature and must find their own territory. It is the job of the dominant male to fiercely defend the entire domain. Any stranger daring to venture towards the perimeter is brusquely rebuffed by the guardian, baring teeth and claws. This reckless youngster will learn his lesson. From now on, he will have to rely on his sense of smell to read the clues the master leaves scattered around the territory. The head of the clan expends a great deal of energy making it clear that he is never very far away. He marks out his territory using an effective odor made from scrapings covered with small scented droppings. The greater the number of potential rivals on the prowl, the more he has to scratch, scratch, and scratch some more in an endless round of digging. By rubbing his chin around the outer reaches of the territory, the rabbit activates his secret weapon, a gland that spreads his scent on the ground. And to hammer the point home, he signs his work with a stealthy stream of urine to spell the message out, loud and clear to his fellow creatures. All members of the clan must also be imbued with the scent of the dominant male to ensure safe access to the burrow. Because not just anyone can enter the network of tunnels without risking the wrath of the occupants unwilling to share their burrow. Each to his own place then, but never far from one another. Thanks to these rules of good neighborliness, different groups manage to coexist smoothly, and large colonies of several hundred residents are formed. Like a small village, constantly watching each other out of the corner of their eye. But a shadow hangs over the fate of the little animal. The rabbit proliferated until the 1950s, at which point it was blamed for significant damage to crops and found itself classified as a pest. The introduction by humans of deadly viruses into warrens has decimated many populations worldwide. Within just 50 years, the numerous dense colonies scattered around Europe have almost disappeared. Today, the species is classified as near threatened, and yet rabbits are still hunted. In Spain, the native land of the species, the decline of the rabbit has given rise to much concern. Aware of the threat posed by its disappearance on the ecosystem, ecologist Carlos Rucco Zufiore has dedicated his career to reintroducing and improving the animal's natural habitat.
I spent many hours, like really close relationship with rabbits, because during my PhD actually I was tracking rabbits, and I remember my supervisor telling me, there will be one day that you will feel like a rabbit. And actually when I was tracking the animals, you can hear them, you can feel them, and you know, it sounds, I feel one of those. And every time I go to the field and I see a bunny running, it's just, I feel proud, first of all. And secondly, it's just delighted to see the basis of our Mediterranean environment actually remains there.
In the heart of the Sierra Morena Massif near Toledo, the El Castañar Private Reserve has seen its population fall by almost 60% over the past 40 years. To remedy the threat affecting the rabbit, it was decided to revive its numbers in its original landscape. Fall is the prime season for reintroduction. This is the time of year when all rabbits are already weaned. At Carlos's initiative, thousands of wild rabbits were bred, transported, and released into reserves and natural parks all across the Iberian Peninsula. Their mission was to recolonize their native lands and halt the decline that threatens their species.
We're in front of an artificial warren, and what we're doing now is a reinforcement of rabbits. So we bring rabbits from nearby, and what we're going to do is introduce them into the warren. So actually we'll do it through this concrete tube. The hole is smaller than regular tubes. That is to avoid all the predators like mongoose or foxes to get inside and prey upon the rabbits. So first thing we do with the rabbits is just to check that actually is healthy, doesn't have any injury. Also we check the sex, because we want to release a proportion of sex within the warren, more females than males. And then closer we put it in front and it will go inside.
This artificial wilderness was constructed on wooden pallets covered with earth. A large central chamber is connected with other smaller ones through a labyrinth of tunnels. The reintroduced rabbits become the tenants of a prefabricated home, giving them just enough time to acclimate to their new environment. Once released, the newcomers will start looking for a piece of land to invade, defend, and repopulate. On Pascal's farm, young males are also taking over their new playing field. Fresh from their mother's teat, they are already trying their hand at community life. Discovering wide open spaces awakens their spirit of conquest and stimulates their wilder instincts. At the dizzy age of 2.5 months, their temperaments come to the fore, and the most dominant are already beginning to patrol the area with a confident step. Here, too, patches of territory are won with strength of foot, a great deal of digging, and the emission of characteristic scents. But a hierarchy cannot be established without a few fierce challenges. The fights always end in a ritual of circumstance. The victors imbue the losers with their scent. Now dominated, they have no choice but to lower their ears in submission. The olfactory signature of the leaders will serve as a key to access the best shelters. In a burrow, as in a hutch, entry is restricted, and dominated members are relegated to the lower levels. In the daily life of the rabbit, grooming and dental care is an activity of the utmost importance. The purpose of gnawing on pieces of wood or woody plants is to file down teeth that continue to grow throughout the animal's life. But the constant nibbling does not mean that the rabbit is a rodent. It belongs to an order called the lagomorphs, which also includes the hares. Rodent or lagomorph, the lurking goshawk makes no distinction. The migrating raptor has spotted its next meal from afar. His discreet approach allows him to find the best angle of attack. Easy picking seemed to be on the menu for this formidable predator. But the carefree nature of the prey and the presence of the fence doom the first attempt to failure. Used to chasing animals that run away as fast as they can, the goshawk is nonplussed by the passivity of its target. Oblivious to the danger, the furball continues to graze a few meters from the predator. This incredible lack of reaction is without a doubt a direct consequence of domestication. The fact is that over the centuries, by selecting the most docile animals, man has steered the evolution, both genetic and cerebral, of the species. A recent study concluded that the brain size of the farmed rabbit was smaller than that of its wild cousin, specifically in the regions associated with sensing fear. As a result, being softer in the head has rather dulled their most innate reflexes. The wild rabbit's neurons, though, remain intact. They are extremely vigilant in all circumstances, because despite the silence that reigns over the countryside, there is a constant threat. Many carnivores prowl near the burrows. In the shelter, the rabbit communicates danger by quickly striking the ground using its hind legs. This rabbit's foot acts as a warning signal to the rest of the group, lurking deep in the tunnels. A suspended moment, not so much as an ear twitches. The fact that the fox has drawn a blank isn't merely down to bad luck. Although small, this leporine prey is strong and designed for survival. Its distinctive sign is to be constantly on guard. In the wild, the rabbit must keep eyes and ears peeled. It has very keen senses, making sure to detect any threat before running off as fast as it can. With such long ears, the little herbivores are clearly not hard of hearing. They react to the slightest suspicious sound by rotating like a satellite dish to locate the source. The fact that it makes barely any noise itself makes the rabbit all the more attentive. Keen though its hearing is, it does not overshadow its excellent eyesight. Large, wide eyes provide panoramic vision of almost 340 degrees, which also covers what is going on in the sky, and all without having to move its head. The wild rabbit is a real control tower and very difficult to get close to. But what would this constant vigilance be without the presence of the clan? Several pairs of eyes and ears to keep watch over the surroundings. One move, and everyone takes off in the blink of an eye. In case of danger, their reaction needs to be immediate and athletic. The rabbit is a high jump specialist, capable of leaping 1 meter high, more than 3 times its size, and nearly 3 meters in length, with a top speed of almost 30 kilometers per hour. Combining speed and agility, the rabbit can disappear in a flash. This furtiveness forces Carlos to use stealth when doing his rounds on the reserve if he wants to see the rabbits released a few weeks earlier.
So this is interesting. These are rabbit latrines, or basically it's a pile of rabbit poo. I mean, as a wildlife ecologist, I will be concerned not if I don't see the species, it will be if I don't see signs that actually the species inhabit this area. Latrines actually are really important for rabbit populations because they use it for marking the territory, and also the family groups actually they pull together here to indicate which area belongs to which family group.
Freshly dug tunnels confirm the presence of a new family in this meadow. The program is working. No more concrete tunnels and pallet housing. They have been replaced by earth that can be molded as desired.
Rabbits are named also as environmental engineers because they modulate the habitat to their own needs, but actually favor all the Mediterranean species. So all that conjunction of all these characteristics that rabbit actually provides to the Mediterranean ecosystem makes that species as important as actually it is. So basically it's the base of the Mediterranean ecosystem. And many people actually don't know that.
The little lagomorph has quickly become used to its new home, thanks to its impressive adaptability. Tolerating heavy rains as well as high temperatures, it can be found all over the world, in a wide variety of environments. After a night of ferreting around for the very best blades of grass, another type of tasting now ensues. And it is rather astonishing. It always begins with a massage of the stomach with the muzzle. This daily ritual promotes the evacuation of small, soft, and shiny droppings, different from the hard droppings scattered around its territory. As a good herbivore, the rabbit continually nibbles grass, which its digestive system does not allow it to assimilate directly. The plants ingested must first accumulate and ferment in a pouch loaded with bacteria located near its intestine. What remains of this transit takes the form of small, soft droppings, which the rabbit gobbles up as soon as they appear. This second digestion provides it with essential nutrients for vitality. This year's youngsters seem to be enjoying themselves in their new home. This is a shot in the arm for the local fauna, because the stability of their ecosystem is partly borne by the frail shoulders of the rabbit.
They are iconic species. Even more, for me, it's more iconic than lynx or imperial eagle, because without them, all the species that are above in the food chain will not exist.
Around the Mediterranean, the survival of around 30 species of predator depends on our small mammal. Two species endemic to the region, the Iberian eagle and the lynx, have particularly suffered from the decline of their favorite prey. So much so that these predators, so emblematic of the peninsula, are now close to extinction.
Here we have evidence of the main predator of rabbits here in El Castañar. It looks, because of the shape, color, and the remains, this is, I would say 90% that is a Iberian lynx fish. So actually it's good to find these signs here. Also, after the decline of the Iberian lynx population in Spain, due to the decline of the main prey, the European rabbit. Actually, after the captive program, we passed in the last 10 years from only 80 Iberian lynx in the wild up to more than 600 that we have nowadays. So actually it's great news for, one of the iconic species of the Iberian Peninsula.
In the early 20th century, 100,000 lynxes roamed the mountainous forests in the south of the peninsula. Long considered the most endangered feline in the world, it has now been saved from extinction. That's good news for the lynx, although not necessarily for the rabbit. Fortunately, though, the latter can count on another of its legendary skills, its ability to proliferate in record time. In the wild, rabbits rarely reach the age of 2, unlike their domesticated cousins, who, being less exposed to disease and sheltered from predators, can live up to 10 years. To compensate for this shorter life expectancy, the species relies on its best weapon: mass reproduction. The first chills of winter herald the return of the mating season. More lively than usual, the dominant males have no respite, preparing themselves to fiercely defend access to their females. If any new suitor darkens the horizon, the cuddly rabbit quickly transforms himself into a fierce fighting machine. The winner, rid of the rival suitor, announces his intentions to the dominant female with an apparently loving display. While deferring to the head of the clan, little gallantry is shown to the lower ranks. Away from the group, the lightning act of copulation lasts but a few seconds. For mating to be fruitful, it must be carried out repeatedly, sometimes up to 20 times in a row. The lagomorph certainly lives up to its reputation as a hot rabbit. From the age of 4 months, females can give birth to several litters in a row, that is to say, dozens of young rabbits a year. It is nature's way of responding to the species' imperative need for survival. Domestic rabbits are spared the reproductive frenzy. On his farm, Pascal manages the births himself. He fixes up all the necessary conditions for these furtive encounters.
Alors,
The first job is to match does with breeding bucks.
on va te mettre à pote. Alors, une belle noire.
Then a propitious moment for frolicking must be chosen.
Oh là, bah super. Super, la visée prête. Allez.
The breeder relies on the prolific nature of his rabbits while ensuring their well-being.
Bah, c'est bien, pote. Et une deuxième fois, quand tu veux.
Pascal knows each of his 15 breeding males and 70 breeding females. Over time, a close relationship is established between farmer and animals.
Pour moi, la communication homme-animal, elle est importante. Et bah, bien sûr, si on donne un nom à l'animal, forcément qu'on l'aura bien repéré, on saura qui il est, et il aura sa particularité, et du coup, on sera dans une relation de proximité avec l'animal. Ouais, c'est pas très rouge, ça. On va bien voir. Allez, allez, va, du boulot. Hop! Allez, allez, Zor, au boulot.
Far from being a rabbit factory, Pascal's breeding schedule is based on reasoned production, limiting annual litters to 3 or 4 per female.
Ah, ma cocotte.
It's a far cry from the rampant reproduction that prevails in their natural environment. The farm provides a more balanced approach for the rabbits.
Tu vas encore en faire, hein?
Less constrained by the intense birth cycle, they produce more milk and hardier young rabbits.
Allez, on retourne à la maison. L'hiver, on les fait tourner un peu moins que l'été parce que naturellement, le lapin se reproduit mieux au printemps qu'à l'automne. Donc, sans se caler sur la nature, on va vers, quoi. C'est-à-dire que je suis toujours dans l'intermédiaire. Ça reste un élevage, mais quand même, je m'inspire un peu de ce qui se passe dans la nature pour pas aller trop contre nature, quoi.
Out in the wilds, the time for giving birth is also fast approaching. Digging is second nature to rabbits. This seasoned tunnel boring machine works to build a different chamber for each new litter. These burrows, specially dug for their young, are located close to the warren. After 30 days of gestation, the litter is imminent. The female rabbit has never been so busy. She fixes up a cozy nest made from twigs, dry grass, and hairs plucked from her own belly. Among mammals, this behavior is unique to rabbits. In a nearby burrow, the dominant female has given birth to her first litter. The daily life of the newborn rabbits is built around the mother's visits to the nest. She comes once a day for a feeding session that never lasts more than 5 minutes. No other mammal devotes so little time to its offspring when they are so vulnerable. This behavior reflects, however, the threat constantly hovering over rabbits. By limiting its presence in the nest, the mother avoids attracting predators to her litter. Hairless, blind and deaf, the young rabbits can barely move. But when the mother sticks the tip of her muzzle in, the excitement becomes frenzied. The agitation is in reaction to a very particular smell, that of mammary pheromone, the only one of its kind identified to date in the animal kingdom. This volatile molecule contained in breast milk instinctively guides them to the breasts for the long-awaited daily suckling. From the very first hour of its existence, the survival of the baby rabbit relies on another of its secret weapons, its sense of smell. Its quivering nostrils house up to 100 million olfactory receptors, compared to only 10 million for humans. This remarkable sensitive sense of smell allows the young rabbit to detect mammary pheromones among the 150 volatile molecules present in breast milk, one of the richest of any mammal. Like their wild cousins, newborn babies on the farm spend most of their day waiting. Domestication in no way erases the rabbit's unusual maternal instinct. Even on the farm, she spends little time in contact with her offspring and prefers to go about her business outside the nest. In Pascal's pens, life proceeds at a more stately pace. The young rabbits stay with their mother for more than 2 months, compared to 4 short weeks in the wild. By selecting the most prolific animals, larger litters are produced. Sometimes, the female gives birth to more young rabbits than she has udders. Then, even in a captive environment, the tough competition for access to breast milk intensifies, and survival instinct guides the reactions of the young. As in the wild, it is often the heaviest and most skillful young rabbits that win the fight for the coveted central position. Pushed to the periphery, the lighter ones are less protected from the cold and have difficulty feeding. From the very first days, a hierarchy begins to develop within the litter. Although facing few of the dangers threatening its wild cousin, the domesticated rabbit remains on the alert when it comes to its offspring. Certain types of protective behavior become even more accentuated.
Alors, il y en a là-dedans.
Alerted by the cries of distress from one of her young, the mother bares her teeth.
Ah, mais ils sont beaux! Oh là! Eh ben, dis donc, tu défends bien tes petits, hein?
In nature, the mere appearance of a human near the burrow would have sent her scurrying as fast as possible. But in the pen, an unpredictable defense instinct is revealed. Dashing out, the rabbit goes on the attack.
Ça va, ma cocotte, ça va.
Watch out anyone who dares touch her offspring. Not far away, 18-day-old young rabbits, still reliant on their mother, begin to eat grass. This family gathering should persist for a few more weeks before they start to meet other youngsters in the open-air grounds. In the wilderness, 2 weeks after their birth, the time has come for the young rabbits to sniff the air outside their nest. Led by the light, they are drawn through the tunnels to the edge of the warren, where they see the meadow for the first time. Hesitation quickly gives way to the desire to explore. Little by little, their ties to the nest are stretched. Moving a meter further away each day, they gradually gain their independence, ready to conquer new territories. But carelessness will quickly give way to vigilance. With a presence in all corners of the globe, the rabbit blends into the most surprising settings. Ōkunoshima is a small Japanese island totally colonized by the species. Here, the invaders are the humans who disembark each day for the sole purpose of getting close to the furry occupants. More than 1,000 rabbits share the island's 70 hectares, reigning supreme over a territory purged of any threats. Their presence here is no mere coincidence. They were put here by man. During the Second World War, rabbits were used as guinea pigs for the military to test chemical weapons. Today's inhabitants are the direct descendants of the few survivors that escaped at the end of the conflict. In the absence of natural predators, the aptly named Rabbit Island saw its population multiply until it reached a critical stage. With the vegetation no longer abundant enough to satisfy the voracious appetites of the 1,000 mammals, they now have to rely on tourists. Because if there is one thing that they have understood, it is that each new wave of hikers brings its share of food. These island rabbits had to swap fresh grass so dear to their little teeth for scraps of food ill-suited to their digestive systems. They are everywhere. They know their island inside out. Likewise, the comings and goings of its visitors. More than 70 years after their return to the wild, these usually nocturnal animals have been forced to adapt their daily rhythm to that of the tourists. Within this little beast hides a great opportunist capable of adapting to any situation. In Japan, as in Europe, after cats and dogs, the rabbit has become the favorite pet. This popularity masks a darker reality. Known for being soft and cuddly, its timorous nature can, however, disappoint. Cute the rabbit may be, but some owners come to rue their impulsive purchase. With more than 20 years of experience with rabbits, Elena Grisafi-Favre has made it her life's work to raise awareness among rabbit owners of their companions' needs. Near Neuchâtel in Switzerland, she has established a sanctuary intended to collect and relocate the unfortunate abandoned pets. Since its creation, some 800 survivors have made a stopover in this haven of peace. A paradise for fluffy, big-eared pets. Here they are looked after and pampered. Above all, their future owners get to know and respect their inner nature.
Bonjour les lapines. Voilà. Viens. C'est bon, hein?
Adopting a rabbit means making a commitment for nearly 10 years.
Coucou ma fifi.
Invited into people's homes, the rabbit is forced to adapt to a way of life that is completely alien to its natural instincts.
Ça, c'est un moment magique. Beaucoup de sérénité se transmet, les lapins. Quand ils sont comme ça, en totale confiance, Et c'est vraiment incroyable parce que ça fait 22 ans que j'ai des lapins, je vis avec eux, mais à chaque fois que je vis des moments comme ça, c'est vraiment émouvant.
Rejection of the animal often stems from misunderstanding and disenchantment because it does not offer affection the way a dog or cat does. To remedy this, Elena invites future pet owners to explore the little-known and complex world of the rabbit.
Les lapins, ce sont des proies, donc ils se font à la limite chasser aussi par nous. Donc certains comportements qu'ils manifestent sont dictés par les faits qu'ils ont peut-être peur. Et ça, pour les gens, c'est difficile à comprendre. Parce qu'on a toujours ce réflexe, oui, mais mon chien, mon chat, alors que le lapin, il vit dans un monde parallèle. Et pour être bien avec son animal, son lapin, il faut apprendre à communiquer différemment. Il faut apprendre à utiliser de nouveaux codes.
An understanding of rabbit behavior comes mainly through observation. Their posture and the position of their ears offers clues to their emotional state. Are they terrified or serene? Do they want to play or go for a stroll? On closer inspection, the animal is more expressive than it first appears. It's up to us to dive into the silent universe of rabbits.
Les lapins sont des animaux qui ne communiquent pas de façon verbale. Donc ils font des gestes, des mouvements avec les corps, ils se mettent dans certaines positions par rapport à nous pour nous exprimer certaines choses. Est-ce qu'ils sont malades? Est-ce qu'ils sont contents? Ça, ils ne vont pas nous les dire. Ils vont nous les montrer. Donc si on ne prend pas le temps de les observer, on ne les saura pas et on va louper des choses importantes.
Establishing a relationship of trust with a long-eared companion requires an understanding of the rabbit's status as prey. While it is hard to resist grabbing this cuddly ball of fur and smothering it with caresses, such over-attentive behavior may be interpreted as predatory. Using a great deal of gentleness, Elena shows the right actions to adopt to bring animal and human closer together.
Si je les fais monter sur les pattes arrière, ce n'est pas pour faire du cirque. Ça peut être aussi dans les buts d'une visite vétérinaire ou si on doit les examiner. Est-ce que les ventres est souillé? Est-ce que les mentons est souillé et mouillé? À la place de les stresser en les attrapant, en les soulevant et peut-être en les mettant sur les dos, avec une friandise, je peux les faire monter sur les pattes arrière, puis faire du stretching et puis là, je peux sans autre examiner mon animal.
Everything in the refuge has been designed to promote freedom of movement. Depending on their temperament and history, the rabbits that come here are spread around in pens large enough for them to stretch their legs. The space and communal living make them reconnect a little more with their wild nature.
Autour du lapin, il y a énormément de préjugés, de préconçus au fait des choses qu'on pense savoir qui ne sont pas forcément toutes correctes. C'est-à-dire que dans les commerces, on trouve des petites cages ou des petits clapiers, puis pour les gens, c'est normal de dire je prends mon lapin, je le mets en cage. Alors que je pense à personne ne viendrait l'idée de mettre un chat en cage ou un chien en cage. Pourquoi un lapin, oui? Parce que cette idée, ça nous vient du fait qu'il fallait les confiner pour pouvoir les récupérer assez facilement pour les manger.
After a period of adaptation, the residents get used to the presence of new roommates. Through close contact, friendships develop, revealing the gregarious, rather domesticated facet of the rabbit's nature. Two is always better than one. In Switzerland, the rabbit is recognized as a social animal, so much so that the law now prohibits the adoption of a single individual. Too often chosen for its appearance and the softness of its coat, the domestic rabbit is not a real-life cuddly toy. More than just a sixth sense, the wild instinct deeply rooted in its genes are its strength. Because beneath that silky fur hides an astonishing keenness that makes the rabbit an animal designed for survival.